Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and today we're talking about the Aimee Stephens case, which you may have seen in the media, because it is going to be going to the Supreme Court this October, and there's a lot of confusion about what this case is about, what it means, but it's really, really simple. So Title VII, which is a federal law which protects people from discrimination, and specifically protects people from discrimination tied to gender. If you're a woman and you're being paid less, or you're a woman and your work conditions are worse than your male peers, that is protected under Title VII, along with many other things, right? And the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, a while back, got a really good idea, kind of acting on an Obama-era change. They said, hey, if it protects gender, I bet you it protects gender identity as well. That makes sense to me, certainly. And they started a case fighting for issues of gender identity discrimination, right? And there's issues here with, what this funeral home Ms. Stephens is suing thought was appropriate for a woman to wear versus a man, and they thought they had this religious obligation because their faith is aggressive towards people transitioning or people with various gender identities, and they also think it's bad for their business to have someone transitioning because it's not properly supportive of mourners because they're a funeral home. Whatever, that's their argument, and I'm by no means am I endorsing that argument. That's some of the arguments they've made. Now, the problem, courts have gone both ways. Courts have said, yeah, Title VII absolutely includes gender identity. If it includes gender, why wouldn't it include gender identity? Courts have also said, nope, gender is not fluid. You're born a certain gender, and Title VII doesn't currently protect gender identity, although, let's face it, Congress could certainly vote a law. They could make Title VII cover gender identity, or they could make a new law to protect gender identity. They just haven't. So we're stuck with this court battle, and it's going to be going to the Supreme Court in October, and I am certainly rooting for Ms. Stephens, without a doubt. A little worried because it's the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and the Justice Department, and they're not always the most amazing of attorneys. These are the same. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission will be like, hey, we got somebody $20,000 for getting sexually assaulted. Aren't we great? And I read that as like a social media post. I'm like, $20,000 for getting sexually assaulted? Are you out of your mind? Like, that's not... What are you talking about? So, obviously, hopefully we have different teams running this particular case. That would be positive. I'm sure there'll be many, many briefs put in by entities like the ACLU and Lambda Legal, who I think the world of, and I hope the amicus briefs can lighten the load on the shoulders of the Justice Department and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. But let's cross our fingers that we get some Title VII protections for gender identity. That would make me very, very happy.